All right, guys, we are live. This is the UFC recap show. UFC Vegas 110, UFC Garcia versus Onama, UFC Onama versus Garcia. This is being brought to you by Sherdog.com. I am your host. My name is Keith Shillan. Joining me, as always, is the man down in Houston, the senior editor of Sherdog.com, the great Ben Duffy. Ben.
Yes, sir.
My man.
I don't even know where to start. I did not expect to have much to talk about after this card was done. We have a lot to talk about, and none of it is good. I didn't want to just cruise in here with this big old negative. This was a shit card on paper. It turned into a shit card in the moment. But there is so much bad stuff that happened tonight. Like my top headline for the worst thing that happened tonight, changed 4 different times across the night.
All right. We could do that. Or why don't we just go to know your host question and just do that for 2 hours? Because I would much rather do that than talk about the stuff we have to talk about tonight. Anyways, obviously in the world of mixed martial arts, in the world of sports, we have Game 7 of the World Series happening right now. We got college football matchups. We have NCAA wrestling kicking off tonight with the All-Star Classic. All the things I would much rather talk about, rather watch. Instead, we sat down and watched an Apex card headlined by Steve Garcia and David Onama and 12 other contests before that. So let's get right into it. Main event, we had the blazing hot Steve Garcia take on kind of like a dark horse, David Onama. I'd say we had a pretty good night on our picks. Our best call was this one that we said that Garcia was going to come out. He was going to just basically run right through. He's going to catch Onama. He's going to knock him out. And that's exactly what happened. This felt on paper, betting wise, and we'll get into betting. We'll have lots to talk about betting. So.
We'll have to get into betting, won't we?
But we said that, this is close on paper. There's obviously, Vegas was leading Garcia, but it was very close. That was not the case. This was in a mismatch, and I knew it was a mismatch about 25 seconds into this fight because, Garcia just marched him down. Mm-hmm. Just showed levels between these two guys.
And a question that came up in the Sherdog editorial Slack, and I want to credit Dev and Dane, kind of our bullpen, because one or both of them was like, did Onama not prepare for a southpaw at all?
I know. And he comes from one of the best teams in the game.
He comes from specifically one of the best teams in the game for strikers in his general weight range. You think of the people he gets to spar with just on the reg at Factory X. It was strange.
Sure.
He barely laid a finger on Steve Garcia. And Garcia wins a lot of fights, but he normally doesn't walk through people absorbing one significant strike in 4 minutes.
Yeah, honestly, if he prepared, he might have 4 punches or 5 punches. I really don't think it was going to make a difference. So I was at softball all today since 7:00 this morning. I was watching the card, the first 4 fights at a softball field. I'm freaking tired. I had to battle the cold early and then the heat late. It's a long day. I'm very, very tired. And I'm talking to our team did not have the best day. It wasn't our best. My daughter did play ball. She made a fantastic catch in right field, but it was not good. And I was talking to a parent. I was talking about how good things happen contagiously in sports, but also it's the same with bad things. You make an error, then that girl make an error, another, wild pitch happened. Things all happen at once. And I say I didn't see confidence. When I see confidence, that's when I know oh shit, this person got to be. That's what Garcia has right now. I just see a guy just oozing of confidence. Even when we counted him out early when he came in the UFC and he felt disrespected, he also has that narrative, even if it's not true anymore, but this chip on his shoulder. It's me against the world. No one believes me. I'm the only person who believes in myself, or me and my team. Nobody else believes in me. And I've heard stories about Kobe Bryant doing that and Michael Jordan doing that. And we've talked about these guys before, but
sure.
I am not putting Steve Garcia and Kobe Bryant category, but you get my point. Is that they make up narratives, and I remember I remember watching the Patriots. When I think it was when the sixth Super Bowl, and they were like, oh, actually no, it wasn't the Patriots. It was when Brady was on the Bucks with Gronk, and they were like, no one believes in us. It's like, bro, you've won 6 Super Bowls. You're considered the greatest football player of all time. Like, people believe in you. Like, come on, dude. But Garcia, I think there's some truth to it.
Huh?
And I know, like, we do more of a technical breakdown than getting into the, I don't know what it is, the
intangibles. But I mean, I speak about him some. Like, because
but it's hard to read intangibles. But he has all the intangibles right now. And I'm loving every second of this Steve Garcia rise.
Yeah. And the intangibles do matter. Like, most of the time, the more skilled, more talented fighter wins. Absolutely. But a lot of fights are close in the measurables. And occasionally the intangibles are enough that just, yeah, I mean, I'm old enough in the sport to remember when, Frank Mir got knocked out by Ian Freeman,
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, it feels like Ian Freeman's on a 7-fight winning streak in the UFC, and yeah. I'm loving every second. I mean, he just marches down people. I mean, he did the same thing. K didn't get knocked out, but Kato was playing it safe. Kato was running, and rightfully so.
Yeah,
because he's just marching guys down. He's landing shots over and over again. He's got power. I mean, and it's funny because I'm watching him land. I'm like, it doesn't even look like he's throwing hard.
Nope.
But I'm like, I'm just sitting like any second now. Oh no, I'm just gonna get dropped, or he's gonna get buckled, or something, or he's gonna get. And then seconds later it happened, and the way he was going down to the body, the way he was cutting angles, and then landing the left, and I was just like, I was blown away by Garcia tonight, and his pressure, like it's marching a guy down, but also like not worried about what's coming back at you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And that's where he is right now. He's got this like confidence. No one can hurt him. I mean, he's going to hurt everybody.
That's pretty much it. Sorry, just had to turn on the results ticker. Yeah, he like just brimming with confidence. And you're right about the power. Like he is built like Nate Diaz. And he sits down on his punches visually about as hard as Nate Diaz does, which isn't that hard. Like Nate Diaz was always kind of a pity pat puncher, but when they connect, people just die. It's remarkable.
Yeah, I'm so impressed. I got to ask you this question because when he first came to the UFC, we weren't sure if he was UFC talent or just one of those like, okay, he got the like. I always think of, and we've talked about this plenty of times, but I don't know how many guys on the UFC roster. 400, we'll say
600.
Oh, 600. There you go. Sure. I can only count to 400. So 600. There's probably the bottom 150 guys are equal to 150 guys on the regional scene that you happen to get the call they didn't.
Of course. Yeah. There are 30 or 40 people in the UFC right now that lost on the Contender Series and got signed anyway.
Yeah.
They're demonstrably worse than somebody regional. Yeah.
But that's like any sport. I mean, there's guys currently on NFL rosters, and the guys who at home just didn't get the call. They weren't lucky. No one knew. No one found out about them. Or there's guys, I'm sure in the NBA where there's, 1 or 2 guys on the end of the bench, and there's some guy in Europe is like, man, I'm better than that guy. Anyways, I thought Garcia was that guy. Fast forward 7 fights or 8, how many fights later? I got to ask you this question: is Steve Garcia a title contender? Like, I know that going from one extreme to the other, but it's got to the point. I think it's a serious question.
It is a serious question. He's realistically 1 win away from at least being able to talk about that and not be laughed out of the room. And I completely agree with you. Like I said on our preview, I was more wrong about Steve Garcia than anybody entering the UFC during the 5 years that we've been doing the show together. And I wrote the article previews for the Sherdog front page. Like literally the first sentence on the first page is, I was fucking wrong about Steve Garcia. Like I had to bleep out half of the F word, but like the lead is, I was fucking wrong about Steve Garcia.
Yeah, to me, I mean, I asked the question: is he a title contender? And a contender, yes. Will he win a title? I don't think he wins a title, but that chance keeps going up more and more. And you gotta say, like, you know what? There's been some unlikely guys. I mean, I always go back to Dracus du Plessis. His rise up, I didn't believe it. I didn't believe it. Didn't believe it. And then all of a sudden he was a champion of the world. And I'm like,
Jan Blachowicz was a champ and defended his title. Charles Oliveira was a champ and defended his title multiple times.
And what I love about Steve Garcia, like, we were wrong about him. I love being wrong about this guy because he really is a Rocky story. And I'm not saying he was, I don't know, he's got 2 turtles at home and he's bothering the girl at the pet store and he gets a title shot anyway. But even his call out of Max Holloway, and you have to really understand, like, if you don't know anything, you're 25, you never watched Rocky, you know the general story, but like nobody wins a title or something. Like, no, that's not what he's talking about. How did Rocky get the title shot? He was the most unlikely person, right place, right time. Apollo Creed's opponent fell out. They were calling other contenders. No one wanted to take the fight and short notice. And then all of a sudden he gets thrown in. That's how Garcia would get the Max Holloway fight, where Max Holloway's got a fight, we'll say, I was going to say Charles Oliveira, but 145.
No, it would be like if Joe Soto had beaten like TJ Dillashaw and turned into one of the greatest bantamweights of all time.
Yes. But I mean, I was going to say Charles Oliveira because that's someone who probably fights, but they want to fight. But whoever is a top 140, like, some of that makes sense as the BMF title, and then all of a sudden that guy gets hurt, breaks his hand the week of the fight, and Steve Garcia is like, shit, I'll take the fight. Then he goes toe to toe, and we have an all-time classic against Max Holloway. Yeah. And I want it to happen.
At the very least, you can't completely dismiss his chances against anybody at this point.
No, and honestly, to me, he's getting. I did see what they were talking about. I think the broadcast kind of. I don't know if you listened with volume on I think they overstated the tell that they said he was giving out. I don't think it was as drastic as they were saying, but I definitely think there's some technical issues with his game. But that said, he's also getting more technically defined as he goes out there.
Yeah. I
mean, working to the body, that wasn't not his thing. Stepping in, forcing guys on their back foot. I mean, this guy's doing everything right now.
And no, he was already shockingly successful when he got to the UFC, but he's been kind of steadily dialing it in, like certainly growing in confidence, but also just getting in better and better shape, just refining things technically little by little. I mean, here, let me ask you a quick pop quiz. Who's the best fighter at Jackson Wink right now?
Who's another fighter at Jackson Wink, in fairness? But yeah, he's got to be. I mean, who else is there? Holly Holm wrestling.
Yeah, like he's the best fighter at Jackson Wink right now, and he's an OG. Like when I say that we kind of dismissed him when he came up, like I remember seeing him in Bellator losing to Ricky Tercios. I'm like, Ricky's my homie, but Ricky is, one, a bantamweight, and two, like, kind of a wild, sloppy fighter. Like I remember, dude, being the last career win for 40-year-old Joe Warren is not a good look. That's not a future UFC contender.
Yeah. I can't wait for Joe Warren to show up in the RFA wrestling organization, because that's who the guys pull out. Which, by the way, the side note, anybody who follows, I love the RFA. So,
Bob Simpson says the best fighter at Jackson Wink is Aaron Pico. You will not find
not right now.
Person. Oh, is he?
Steve Garcia is.
No. Like I'm not saying I agree with him. I'm saying, like, I thought you were saying he isn't still at Jackson Wink, which, I mean.
Oh, no. I meant he's not the best at Jackson.
No.
I mean, I just ignore Bob Simpson. He's just
no. Yeah, but you won't find a person slower to jump off the Aaron Pico bandwagon than me. But yeah, it ain't Aaron Pico.
No, Pico had a chin, and the most unlucky. Well, I shouldn't say has a chin because the shots he gets hit with are huge shots, but also like one of the most unlucky guys of all time. The amount of fights he's winning that suddenly he gets knocked out. Garcia, like I said, I'm all in on this guy. I think he's doing everything right. The only person I can think of in recent memory that reminds me, and I hope it doesn't have the same finish, and I expect it to have the same finish, is Anthony Smith. When Anthony Smith first came in the UFC, I went, this ain't this is Anthony Smith. Like, I've been watching this guy fight forever, and he's like good regional fighter. Like, okay, I'm glad he got the call up to the UFC. Cool. Like, wow, he won a fight in the UFC. Like, that's awesome.
That's great.
And then also it's like, wow, he's in the top 10. Like, wow, he's fighting for the title. Like, wow, he could take a DQ and be a UFC champion. Which he should have did, actually. Fuck it. But I still don't think that's going to happen for Steve Garcia. So I said it. I don't want it to end the same way. What I mean by the end the same way is like Glover to Jared knocking his teeth out, kind of ending, not making it to a title shot. Like, I don't think that's the ending. But man, I feel like Garcia is one of our guys now. He's like officially one of our guys.
Oh,
he's probably been for a while, but we just start making a list of who are, and then we got to like kick guys out when they're no longer our guys anymore. Like, this is like we should have like a I don't know. Anytime someone mentions their name, like a sound, like something, I don't know, something.
I used to have like a little electronic goat that would make like a goat sound when I squeeze it. I'll need to pop a new battery in that thing. We gotta get Steve Garcia in our club.
So everyone, right away, it seems like everybody, instead of talking about the performance, they can always go right to who they got to fight next. Who's going to fight next?
Oh, like everyone's been matchmaking Steve Garcia for like 10 minutes now in the chat.
We've had, let's see, I'll throw out some names, or you can throw out some names too that you saw. I saw people say Josh.
Lots of John Silva.
Silva,
like several people said
John Silva.
Dev said Arnold Allen.
Okay, I like all these, by the way. I'm not crazy about the Emmett one. I kind of feel like he's past Emmett at this point.
It's interesting. The one I have for him, like, it's not a particular. I mean, it's a bit of a step up in terms of like rankings and like narrative, like name recognition, but it's someone that's also on their way up. But it just makes too much sense, like in a narrative sense right now. I think we might have the same.
I think we do. A couple other guys get the Yair Rodriguez, Antoine Willis through Yair Rodriguez. That'd be a really fun fight. A couple other. I mean, you can't make a bad fight at the top of the featherweight division.
Nope.
Somebody throw out John Jones. Okay. Someone threw out John Jones as best fighter from. He hasn't been at Jackson Lake forever. Before you give me the name of who your guys, I really think we have the same guy. Was he in the cage tonight?
He was, in fact, in the cage tonight. Yes.
Yes.
It just makes too much sense.
I thought he should have turned when they said, "Who do you want next?" He should have said, "How about," and point at him. How about that guy walking out of the cage right now? I'll beat another one of their team. Like, go a little heel a little bit.
Yeah.
And point at Yusuf Salah. I mean, Yusuf Salah is one of also our guys.
Yeah.
But in like a different sense, where he was the talent was there, but he was losing, and then he kind of turned around. But he had Yusuf Salah. You watch him, and it's like you see all the talent. The talent's oozing out of him.
Yeah.
Where Garcia's like, wow, like he shouldn't be this good, but holy crap, he's good. Who do you think would the favorite be in that fight?
I think it's another one like this where it's close to a pick'em, but if either guy is just the tiniest favorite, it's probably Zalal. I
agree. I think just the wrestling, he can go to his wrestling. He'll wrestle a lot.
Yeah. Like it's pretty even, except the skinny Moroccan guy might wrestle him.
Yeah,
like,
I know.
What world are we living in?
I know one thing I've been doing a lot with my matchmaking is trying to think about where it should happen, and not necessarily where, like location, but should it be like a fight night main event? Should it be on a pay-per-view? Do Do they need to be on pay-per-view to get these guys over, or would a fight night main event make more sense?
Either fight night main event or on the main card of a title fight. Like, it makes too much sense to have a fight where one of the people could conceivably step up on short notice as a backup for the main event if they absolutely had to, or if they do, one of the winner does something spectacular, they can say something outrageous, and the champ and new and still is going to be in the cage half an hour later.
Yeah, if they were on, I was gonna say Tapori, he's not the champion anymore, but if they were on Volkanovski's card, and Volkanovski's fighting, I don't know who's fighting Volkanovski next, Lerone Murphy or something.
Oh, I mean, Garcia was taking shots at Volkanovski all week, saying, "Why isn't he fighting? Why is he too busy cooking?"
yeah. Calling out. All right, Steve. You had me until you start saying bad things about Volkanovski. It's like that guy fights. Onama, I feel like he got pushed to a main event too soon. Like, at least we saw like the I don't want to say the bright lights got to him, because it's hard to have bright lights in the Apex, but he was overmatched. I think it was too much too soon. I'm taking a big step down for him. I'm going Dan Ige.
That's exactly the name I have down.
We do this show too long. We do this show too long.
Like, and ironically, I mean, Ige has far more casual name recognition than Zalal does, but he's lost 4 or 5 or 4 of 6 or something. Like, Ige has plenty to prove too, and I mean, that dude's not going to say no to a fight against anybody. And Ige makes that into a fight that you can put higher up on a card, you know.
And Ige to me is, he's a step up in competition, but still like enough on the decline that he's a test, but also a winnable fight. All right, we have 2 more fights. Let's move on, because this shit's about to get wacky. In the co-main event, Waldo Cortez Acosta lost by knockout. Then we were told we were going to get a no contest. To then, what the hell? I'm going to start throwing. I'm going to fight. I'm going to throw haymakers. I'm going to knock a guy out, and then all of a sudden can't see again. Whoa. Ben, I've been watching this fight. I've been watching this sport for a really long time. I mean, you and me both. We're senior citizens when it comes to the fight game. I bet you there is people in this chat that we were watching fights before they were alive.
Yes.
Why is it that every single week it gets crazier and crazier? How is this possible? How have we not seen everything? How is it possible?
I mean, just the fact that
it's going to happen next week. Like, something crazy is going to happen next week.
This is the worst piece of officiating that happened on this card, but there's a close second. It's not even like far and away. It's not like
we'll get to that. Yeah.
It's so bad, guys.
So
it's like, this is a reason we can't have nice things.
For some reason, if you only watched the main event and didn't watch the co-main event, well, in the very first round, and Ante Delia, help me out with his name. I struggled.
Ante Delia
was opening up, had Cortez Acosta against the cage, threw like a 20 punch combination. Who was it? Was it her? No, it was
Mark Smith.
Mark Smith jumped in. We thought we had a TKO. As Cortez Acosta is like leaning against the cage, he starts holding his left eye. He never falls down.
Nope.
He says he was got poked in the eye. Mark Smith turns and says, "I want to see a replay." They show he got poked in the eye. As he got poked in the eye, he kind of covers his face, and that's when Delia opens up like a 20 punch combination. When that happens, we get told that this fight can't continue, which means it's going to be a no contest based on, the rules there in Las Vegas. And then next we hear Mark Smith say, "No, we're on a timer. He's got 5 minutes." The ref comes in. He starts saying he can see. The fight happens, and I don't know, 20, 25 seconds later, Waldo Cortez Acosta lands a haymaker, drops Delia, falls up with shots as Delia's down, and he wins by TKO. And my favorite part is you expect him to celebrate. Instead, he runs back to his corner holding his eye like someone just hit him with a pellet gun in the eyeball. Like, Oh, Ben, this sport sucks, but it's so great at the same time.
It's just unbelievably poorly handled. Like, and again, referees have an extremely hard job. They are trying to supervise the movement of, in this case, very large bodies in real time. And there are some things that you only have one chance to get right. Like if you make the right call 2 seconds too late, you made the wrong call. It happens with stoppages all the time. But here, even if you missed the eye poke, there's an obvious right call. It's a no contest. We run it back, 8 weeks from now. Hell, we run it back 2 weeks from now. They're both heavyweights.
I don't give referees a hard time missing an eye poke because it happens so quick. Yeah. Good. Continue.
What he did was almost the only thing he could do to screw it up.
I love this sport.
Like, the obvious call at that point is, okay, it's over. It's a no contest. That's the right call. The regular, normal wrong call would be like, oh, it's inconclusive. It's going to go down as a TKO win for D'Elia. Cortez Acosta can appeal it.
I thought that was going to be, I thought 100% I thought it's going to be turn into no contest. And they said, or D'Elia is going to get a bullshit win. Exactly. I didn't expect this to happen. And then when the fight re-happened, I was like, I want to see Cortez knock him out of something just because it's already madness led to go. Or what if D'Elia throws a shot on that side and just knocks him cold, and then all of a sudden it's like, see, that's why you don't continue fighting. I was like, we can't have a boring Kevin Holland trying to protect his eye. In that case, Holland protect his nuts, but for the rest of the fight, this was crazy.
It's so bad on so many levels. It's obviously D'Elia and his people are going to appeal it. I wish them the best of luck. I mean, we just found out this week that Jake Matthews appealing a decision that was clearly problematic in his own backyard didn't get anything overturned against Neil Magny. I have the feeling that Ante D'Elia is shit out of luck here, but I certainly wish him the best. I wouldn't be happy with this.
Oh yeah, there's no chance that he's getting overturned. Absolutely not. This point. I mean, what was the last fight that got overturned? Like someone appealed something and it got overturned. I'm sure there's something, but I can't think of one.
I'm going all the way back to there was it a Michael Chiesa fight where the fight was called a submission and there wasn't actually a tap and it ended up being a no contest?
I don't even remember.
Yeah.
I don't remember. So one thing they're going to argue is that he had an adrenaline dump because he was celebrating for a while. I mean, there was, I remember this one when he was next to his cornerman's on the, apron, and he's going crazy. The crowd was all Croatian people there cheering. The World Series going on. Could you imagine, one of the teams wins tonight and they go, you know what? We just replayed. And the guy actually was out at home play, but not right then. It's replayed. You've already been to the locker room. You already sprayed each other with champagne. And now you got to come back and play again. This sport is insane. As far as the actual action, Waldo Cortez Acosta is a pretty damn good heavyweight when he's moving forward. When he's backing up, like we saw in the first half of this round, and he puts himself against the cage, and he did on 2 fights in a row. I'm like, he's not a good heavyweight. Why does he do that?
I don't get it. And it, as kind of funny and whatever as it was when he decided to wrestle against Rebellis to Spain, even mixing it in against a guy like D'Elia was not a bad idea. If he keeps that in his hip pocket, I think that can only help him going forward.
Yeah, absolutely. What would you want to do with, say this fight doesn't get overturned, which neither one of us think will happen. They get matched up with other guys. What are you doing with them?
I'm putting Cortez Acosta in against someone like Tybura. like just because I don't want to give him a substantial step up. He shouldn't have won this fight, but a borderline top 10 fighter that's like losing some fights seems appropriate.
I'm giving him a big because he's still he's won like how many? I know he obviously just lost.
He just lost to Pavlovich, but he is what 7-2, 8-2 in the UFC now.
8-2 in the UFC. He's won 6 out of his last 7.
He finally finished somebody that wasn't a recent former light heavyweight. Yeah. Because the only people he had knocked out before were Lucas Dresky and Ryan Spann.
Yeah.
I mean, Waldo just fought Sergey Jordan Lane. Otherwise, I mean, that'd be an obvious one. Unless you think we need to run that one back.
I'm going based on who's like not a contender right now. Cause the heavyweight division has been pulled on hold with the eye poke and the John Jones situation and everything. I'm going to go with my man, Kobe Saul. I'm going to go with his matchup. I'm going to give him Curtis Blades. I'm giving him step up in competition and a stylistic different change for him too.
Yeah.
We've seen improved takedown defense from him. I want to see him face a true wrestler and see how he does in that. Obviously, Ivan Rapoport throws out Jelton Almeida. He'd have to show some takedown defense. Obviously, against Jelton Almeida, he'd have to show some takedown defense, as Jordan Lane said. And I'm assuming when he says Sergey, I'm assuming he's saying Spivak, not a rematch against Pavlovich.
Well, he fought Spivak right before that. He's fought all the Sergeys in the UFC.
Oh, there you go. Yes. I forgot about that. So that should show how memorable that fight was. Yeah. I mean, people are really giving us the play-by-play for my man Antoine Willis. He loves bringing in the other sports in this. Yep. Me and Ben, we strictly talk MMA. We don't talk other sports while we're doing this. We never, ever make an analogy about other sports or anything like that. Dalia, obviously, this is heartbreaking for him. What are you doing with him?
I mean, the thing I was prepared to say coming into this was this needs to be declared no contest and run back.
Okay. All right. So you do that. Okay.
Yeah.
One narrative people were saying
Dalia versus Mark Smith, says Colby Saul.
The one thing that the UFC broadcast kept mentioning is how undersized is he, only 230, and that he could cut down to 205. He's not. I don't think he's undersized. Like I think it's okay to be 230.
And he's 237 and a half.
Yeah,
and he's 6'5". Like he was taller.
Yeah, he'd have to cut 32 pounds or 31 pounds, and
he's Alistair Overeem.
Yeah, he could, but like he didn't lose tonight because he's undersized.
No,
he didn't lose tonight because the guy caught him. Yeah. It is what it is. I'm giving him a guy who also was a 205er, but he's on a nice little run in heavyweight. I'm giving him Victor Petrino.
Sure, that works for me.
Before that, Temba Grimbo took on Jeremiah Wells, with Jeremiah Wells winning a unanimous decision in a fight that had a lot of grappling, not a lot of punching. To me, the difference in the grappling is how they reacted when they were taken down. Wells, when he was taken down, he was instantly looking for submissions, guillotines, stuff like that, and then using those opportunities to scramble back to his feet and not be held down. Garimbo, when he was taken down, he stayed on his back for a long period of time. And really the only times he got out is when Wells got too high chasing a submission.
Agreed. And I was really impressed by Jeremiah Wells tonight for a couple of reasons. One, yeah, this fight took place. I felt like 85% of the action was on the ground, and everything you said, and that added up to Wells was more comfortable on the ground. Like Garimbo, even when he was on top and initiating the takedown, it felt like he was having to defend himself. And what that added up to was late in the fight, Wells seemed like the fresher fighter, even though he had started looking tired sooner. He made Garimbo work for everything. And because he's just more of an experienced grappler, more of a technical wrestler, he was spending less energy securing his takedowns and getting his sweeps and reversals on the ground. Like, yeah, it was for a guy that turned 39 on Thursday. That was a hell of a performance. Like him being the age he is, it being the division it is. I still don't see a title run. There's just not enough time. But what I saw tonight was that's as good as Jeremiah Wells has looked in the UFC, which is pretty damn impressive.
Yeah, no, I was based on his age and everything, but to me, I'm feeling the other way. I'm not feeling like this was good Wells. I'm feeling this was more bad Garembo. This is, to me, Wells dug deep. He dug deeper than Garembo is, and that really bothers me because to me, this is 2 fights in a row where I felt he had favorable matchups and found ways to lose. I'm thinking Garembo's a front runner. When things are bad, he checks out.
You threw that out on the preview, and I wasn't completely ready to agree with you, but the evidence is starting to pile up. I think you're onto something there.
All right. Before that, Isaac Delgarian took on Yadir Del Valle. Del Valle winning by first round submission. We have 2 stories to tell about this. We'll do a quick one, the thing that no one's really going to talk about, and then the longer story, which it seems like everyone's going to talk about this week. The first thing is, I'm going to pause on the second part. So regardless of what people think about the second part, we'll talk about, Del Valle looked great. I said that I almost picked Del Valle in an upset. I was kicking myself. I said the betting line should be closer, and the people listened to me. And maybe it was a late push the last hour before they fought. A bunch of people listened to the show, and they said, Keith's right. And they all started betting on Del Valle. Del Valle looked good. I mean, he was huge. He was much bigger than him. His ground game was on point, and he absolutely just ran through Isaac Delgarian. Almost a flawless victory. Do you believe in Del Valle?
I always have. Like, yeah, I think he's one of the best prospects in the UFC out of Houston. Like I said, I've seen half of his career fights in person. Like, he's for real. And I just thought that Delgarian having a little more experience at this level and being good at a lot of the same things was just going to be a little too much too soon. Like, I said on the preview, like, I could see these guys meeting again 2 years from now for much higher stakes. Like, yeah, like, but having said that,
maybe not,
maybe not. But what did impress me, because I'm already a believer in Del Valle's boxing, but just for him to go right at Delgarian, thoroughly out grapple him, which should have been Delgarian's wheelhouse, until or unless we find out something dastardly in the next couple days, that was a statement.
Yeah, I believe him too. I mean, I think he looked good. He's undefeated. He's 10-0. He looked good. So obviously the story and everyone in the chat is talking about it. And we're not a betting show. That's not what we are. We obviously analyze fights, and some people use it for betting. And we always try to tell people, like, we don't bet. So if you want to bet, that's on you. Like, I didn't tell you to put money on this guy or that guy. I just told you the skills I see, and okay, you take a chance. We love our bettors. We root for them. Even if like, listen, if you tell me, hey, I just threw freaking $500 on some guy and I picked the other guy, if I told you to pick Steve Garcia and you said I threw $500 on David Onama, I'm going to hope David Onama wins too, because, we
want the best for you guys.
Yeah. And I think it was about an hour before this fight went on, Delgarian was a pretty hefty favorite to suddenly a pick'em fight.
To the point that DraftKings, which is, remember, the UFC's official betting sponsor. Like, I know they've been doing a bunch of stuff with stake, but like their sponsor for actual MMA betting still on the floor of the cage is DraftKings. DraftKings pulled all the prop bets about 2 hours before the fight happened. Okay. Because so much money was coming down on inside the distance, like, type stuff. So they left the money line up, but they pulled all props for that fight.
So I was watching softball while I was watching the first fights. the very first fight I got to watch live, and then the next three, I paused and I had to like fast forward. So like my wife's driving home, I'm sitting in the passenger seat, and what I do is I'll take like one phone and I'll have the live, so I know how far I'm back, and then like during commercials, I'm watching the on demand of the fights, trying to catch up at every single break. Oh, so that's so I didn't catch any of this stuff, all these reports ahead of time. We obviously had a recent situation with James Krause. It was
oh, you mean Dolgarian's old coach?
Dolgarian's old coach. Who was the I can think of the old Midwest guy. What was this? Who was the guy that was injured?
I can picture his face and I can't remember his name.
Yeah, and then there was also the Asian fight years ago. The guy went to jail.
Yeah. Derek Minner. Thank you, MMA Racks. Derek
Minner. Yeah, Derek Minner lost to, who was it?
It was one of the Chinese guys. Was it Mahishate?
Okay, yeah. And then there was another fight even years before that. Do you remember that one?
Which one?
Shillan.
Thank you. MMA Racks is on the ball. Okay. Yeah. My listener of the night, MMA Racks. But our unofficial producer.
The other one was the guy. It was a very low level. It was like there it is. Bang versus Kuntz. Bang was supposed to throw the fight. And
Jay just wanted to say bang cunts.
And then he didn't. They put all the money came out on him to throw the fight. Then he didn't. And they found out that he was paid to throw the fight, anything like that. I don't know what happened to this Dolgarian thing. He might have been hurt, like Minner. It could have been a Bang situation where he threw a fight, or you know what? It could have been nothing. It could have been Del Valle is simply just way better than Dolgarian was. But holy shit, do we have something going on? Because we're talking about an Apex card. We're not talking about the headlining Apex card. At the same, like we said in the preview, during the World Series, during college football, with NFL going on tomorrow, with NBA back started, with hockey, all the more popular sports, to get that much money on a kind of unknown to Valley is very, very strange.
People have said in the comments, and I'm seeing verified here in like the Sherdog News Slack. Yeah, the betting houses are refunding money on that fight. Yeah, so
which houses are refunding?
Let me see here.
And
William Hill, which is a Nevada-based sports book, is doing it.
So if you bet on Dolgarian, they're giving you money back?
Mm-hmm.
What if you bet on Del Valle? What happens in that case?
I
Do you get paid still?
I mean, they might try to withhold those purses, just waiting to see if there's like actual word of malfeasance comes out. It wouldn't surprise me if they freeze it and say like you can't withdraw that from your role.
Yeah.
Dude, Caesar's Palace is offering credits for losing bets on Dolgarian.
DraftKings is. Wow, DraftKings is.
And again, DraftKings, their name is on the floor of the octagon. You think the UFC is untouchable, like, Dana White is too quick to say fuck you to people that criticize them. Things that get the UFC's attention immediately are sponsors getting mad. Something's going to happen now.
Yeah, I think it's a very safe to say we're probably not going to see Isaac Dolgarian in the UFC anytime soon, or maybe ever.
Well,
hey, you know what I hope? I hope if there's and like again, there could be nothing to this. The chances, and I'm just saying that because I don't want to bash people and say things that aren't true without evidence. Does it look bad? It looks very bad. That said, you know, it'd be a really shame if, say, Dolgarian was injured. We'll just say, say he had a bum shoulder, but hey, I need the money, I'm going to fight. Yeah. And he doesn't leak the news. it's a corner man. It's a teammate who in his gym saying, dude, I just bet against Bulgarian, dude. He can barely lift his right shoulder. He can't throw his right hand right now. He can't, or he's got an infection. He's got staph and no one knows about it. He gasses in a minute.
Yeah.
That'll really suck if that's the case. And this guy gets, and again, he could be super good.
And I think that's actually the most likely scenario. Like, remember, like with all the shit that went on with Derek Minner himself was never accused of doing anything wrong.
No, he still went out there and got his ass kicked.
Yeah, like, I mean, I'm not a professional fighter, and Keith is no longer a professional fighter, but I certainly spend a lot of time around them, both in my job and just, training at the gym. Everyone is hurt every time. Everyone is sick every time. Like, so it's not like he was even necessarily hiding some big secret. It's not like he's, TJ Dillashaw and went out there with his shoulder held together with duct tape. But if there was something where he's like, okay, I'm just going to gut it out, see if I can still pull through this. And somebody in the gym's like, I'm going to make some money. Yeah.
And there might be some, and I know some people are to say, well, look how Del Valle had Bulgarian's back and he was not fighting his hands. It's almost like he was like trying not to get out of the choke. Some people would say that. But then the other argument would be like, well, if he really was injured, maybe he couldn't pull down the hand. Maybe it was when he was pulling down the hands, it was popping a rib. It was dislocating a collarbone or whatever, straining his pec or whatever.
Dude, how many weeks ago was it that we saw a fighter on the scale with a hand that looked like
that's true.
Bugs Bunny whopped it with a hammer?
Was that 2, 3?
Yeah.
Oh, it's like no, last week. Was it last week?
It was Lucas Almeida. I think it was 2 weeks ago.
Oh, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, but like Lucas Almeida wasn't peeling any choking hands off with that thing.
No.
Like, yeah.
And you know who I think the biggest loser is this? Del Valle. Because no one's talking about how great he looked tonight. Nobody's saying like, wow, this biggest win of his career.
Oh, tell me about it. I wish I was able to just kind of go off on how great Del Valle looked tonight.
Yeah. I don't want to spend too much time on this. I mean, it'll be interesting. I do investigations for a living. If you want me to investigate this, pay me a lot of money and I will. And then I said it to the UFC, not to Sherdog. Sherdog pays me way more than enough. Actually, I don't want to say that too loud. So it's like, oh, well, now that you say that. Before that, Ben's favorite fighter, Chuck Buffalo, Charles Radke, took on my favorite fighter, Daniel Frunza, the battle of the best names, as Chuck Buffalo wins by third round submission. We both said this. This was a bad matchup. I mean, this was an absolute mismatch. We both were on Chuck Buffalo big before the fight happened, and we weren't on him big enough.
Yeah.
This is one of those ones when you look at an NFL line and it's like negative 13.5 for one team. You're like, dude, 2 touchdowns, that's a lot. And then they win by 35. And you're like, oh, that's why.
Yeah. And I mean, good for Charlie Radke. Like, he's a guy that has overachieved or at least overperformed compared to expectations since he got to the UFC. I mean, he's 4-2 in the UFC right now.
Yeah, that's my boy.
Here's the thing. Like, none of the people he's beaten are great, but he's beaten different kinds of fighters different ways, which, I mean, when you can say that, then there aren't a whole lot of bad matchups for you, except for someone who's just better than you at everything. Speaking of which, I mean, good on Radke, but Frunza's just not. He's not UFC material. Like, even the things he does well, like just kind of an outside low power, medium high volume kickboxing contest, like the Charlie Radkes of the UFC already do that better than him, and they can do a bunch of other things. He's just not.
He has no ground. His takedown defense was horrendous.
Yeah,
still better than Phil Rose, but it was bad, and his grappling was really bad. Not good for Daniel Frunza. Before that, Cody Durden taking the fight on short notice in a one. So we were talking about on the broadcast. We were saying Cody Durden versus Nascimento should be a catch weight fight. It ended up being a catch weight fight. So it was at 130 pounds with Nascimento winning by second round submission. Durden looked great early on.
Yep.
The problem
Okay.
is his chin just doesn't hold up.
I have two things to say about this fight. All right. So in the Sherdog Slack, as he's looking really good, I was like, yeah, but it's Cody Durden, so he's gonna either get melted by a punch or like shoot right into a guillotine any moment now. If he does both, call me Ben the Greek.
There
10
you go.
seconds later, he gets clocked by a punch and shoots right into a front headlock and gets Anaconda choked.
Nice.
So a good friend of mine who works on the Sherdog staff. Here, let me.
Are you gonna pull up the quote?
I am gonna add a picture here. I mean, say anything you want about the event while I'm doing this.
Okay. All right. I'll just say some things. Like I said, Cody looked good until he didn't. That said, I don't feel better about Nascimento. I believe it or not, I thought the Bradcross team was fairly good, even with Michael Bisping on the card. I think they really focus. I like the technical stuff. Nice. I like the teeth. Nice job, man.
Isn't that horrifying? Like,
Nascimento's chin was high. He kept pulling his head straight back. They kept saying like he's going to get blasted. Josh Van will knock it to next week. He does that. Brandon Moreno, fill in the blank of top punchers in that division. But he's a great grappler. He gets an opportunity. He locks up there. He's special there. So he's got a little Charles Oliveira in him. In the I can end a fight in any second, not in the super crazy tough. I can take a beating and find a way to win, but just more of opportunistic. Give me a second. I can lock something on.
And a little like early Oliveira or like Moicano in that he is offensively a pretty good striker, but he has defensive lapses that make it perilous for him to try to test his luck there for too long.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Someone needs to kind of match him, like move and stick, and then don't almost have him chase you and then counter his strikes, then you kind of going into it and then falling into something. So before that we had the fight, probably the lowest level fight on the card, which is saying a lot, and one of the lowest level fights in the entire UFC. Billy Elicana taking on Kevin Christensen, with Elicana winning by he would have had first round. I mean, I know it's his first round submission, but it would have had first round tap out. Instead, it was a choke out as Elicana, he classic club and sub, dropped Christian with a big shot, landed some other blows. Christian gave up his back. Elicana locked in a submission, and yo boy, Chris Taglioni, he did not see him tapping.
My boy.
He was tapping on the right side. I'm constantly talking bad about the refs, and you're constantly defending him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He made it seem like Kevin Christensen said something about Chris Taglioni's mom or something. Like, he's just like, yeah, he needs to go unconscious. And that's what happened. He went out cold.
He went out cold. It took him a minute to wake back up, and he was pretty beat up even before he got choked out.
Yeah.
By the time they hit the ground, like Elicana had his choice of how to end this thing. He could have punched him about twice more and it would have been done too. But yeah, that was, I mean, good for Chris Taglioni that Mark Smith screwed up even worse and more spectacularly, because otherwise that'd be one of our top things to talk about right now.
Yeah, it's bad. It's not acceptable. So I want to be very clear. It's not acceptable. I was talking to Nolan King about this card. Check out Nolan King, MMA Junkie, one of the best dudes in the industry. And I was talking about like this. It is a hard job. Like, refereeing's a hard job. We talk shit, but there's a reason why they keep screwing up, because it's a hard job. And like you said earlier, like, they have split seconds. We also, when we get tap outs, we get knockouts, we also get the replay slowed down. They don't get that. And they get one shot. I get it. But there are certain professions, as I told Nolan King, it sucks to be you, but you got to be perfect.
Yeah.
Like a pilot, like the people who put together amusement park rides, like a infantryman in the army coming to, or freaking special forces, or this certain judge, you got to be perfect. I feel like refereeing is that case.
Yep.
So with that said, I want to say how hard it is. I can understand how he missed this. I'm not saying it's acceptable, but I can understand. Like, you're on one side, he's tapping the other side. It's like the old WWF, referee's check on one side, the manager hands gives you brass knuckles on the other side,
Unless you are going to referee exclusively Nick Newell fights, you need to reconcile yourself to the fact that the fighters have two hands.
He has two hands. He had to get to the top front to see the hands.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Again, I understand how he missed it. It was behind him. It was on the other side. Yeah. And I mean, from the broadcast, I didn't know he was tapping. We only had one view.
Yeah.
So,
and this was nasty. Elikana had that arm laced with his leg. So even if Christian wanted to, he couldn't have brought that hand in to actually try to fight the choke. I mean, it was a nasty finish. I wish that's what we were talking about instead of the fact that Christian was unconscious for like literally 5 or 6 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
like just forgetting third grade, as there's no blood going to his brain.
Garrett Clemens mentioned trying to tap the body. He couldn't. His arm was trapped. That's why he was
his arm was trapped.
And even if he was tapping the body, I have no issue with Elikana not letting go. I have issues with guys when the referees try pulling them off. Your Husama Paul Harris holding on to a submission. Like, I got a problem with those guys. But holding on to a submission too long in this situation, I got no problem, because you know what? You're right. Referee didn't see you tap. Next time, I'm not gonna get screwed out of a win and extra check and everything. So, either way, you believe in. All right, I'll ask you the question: are you believing in your boy Billy Elikin?
I am absolutely not. Elikana. I made a prediction on the preview. I'm going to stick by it. Elikana is going to win, and this will be his last win in the UFC.
Yeah, it depends who they match him against, but yes, I think that's a pretty good prediction.
Unless they run this one back, I'm picking him to probably lose his next fight.
I think they could have gave Kevin Christian 3 arms and he's still winning that fight. He's terrible. Before that, Timby Kwamba took on Chang Ho Lee, with Kwamba winning a unanimous decision. Kind of a tale of two different fights. As holy shit, I'm sorry, I get the baseball to the left of me. Max Muncy just hit a home run. That must have been 500 feet. That thing was like triple deck to right field. But the Blue Jays are currently beating the Dodgers, Ben, 4-3. I mean, if you talk about betting lines and bets, imagine a third world country getting a championship. Like, what's the odds of that?
Yeah, that would be making some particular bettors pretty rich.
Shout out to all our Canadian listeners. Good luck if they win the championship for you guys. Or congratulations. I should say good luck. Congratulations. But they're 5 outs away. Let's see if they can get it done. To me, they would tale of two halves. To me, things I didn't, even though Kwamba won, I didn't like is his fight IQ. I thought it was really bad. Like, he kept backing himself off to the cage, hated the pressure from Lee. I didn't like that about Kwamba. Lee wrestling looked great from earlier, but he gassed himself out with his own wrestling. And I think it came down to, and I think I give DC credit for this, Lee had a chance when Kwamba was on his back in the third, and it was 1-1. And Kwamba, I mean, for most of the third, Kwamba was riding high, and Lee kept going down to his knees when all he had to do was tripod and shake his body, and Kwamba would have fell off, and Lee probably wins the fight.
That's all it would have taken. I completely agree with that.
And it just came down to, like, I don't know if it was inexperience, not understanding, not digging deep. Because I mean, it sucks when your legs are tired. You're tired. You guys holding on. You know the lactic acid is building up. It sucks, but that's what you got to do. What else you had to say about this fight?
Even if it had gone the other way and Lee had won, like say we got a weird splitter or,
Sure.
the second round had been closer. As proof of concept for Kwamba fighting at 135, I liked this fight. Because of these two guys, again, regardless of who happened to win tonight, I saw Kwamba as having the greater upside. Like, I feel as though we already have a pretty good handle on who Lee is. So, yeah, I wasn't calling him a future contender at 145. I'm still not at 135. But he's at least proven that he makes weight and looks good here. And he's a pretty young guy. So, yeah, I'm excited for his next fight.
Okay, I'm not. I don't see it in there, but I hope you're right. So, all right, guys, this is the point where we take a break from talking about fights. We get to everyone's favorite portion, the know your host question. That's when we go as deep as any possible. We have to do these things for our own sanity, and then we'll get back to the fights. Ben, this question, usually we let each other know what the question of the week is. I have not let you know what the question of the week is because I'm going to change it up. I'm going to do a little different than we normally do, and I want the chat to join along and give us their answers. Ben, I'm going to give you 5 questions. Almost, they're going to be like rapid fire. And they're going to be simple. It's one choice. It's this or that, they call them. I'm going to give you 2. I'm going to give you a topic. I'm going to say, would you rather have this or that? Or do you prefer this or that? So you get it, right?
Yep.
All right. Here's the categories. The categories are movies, TV, music, sports, and food and beverage. Food and beverage, one category.
Like our own little game show. I love this. All right, hit me.
And I'm going to, Ben.
Are you going to give your answers afterward?
I'll give my answers, yeah.
Okay.
In the chat, throw your answers. I will read yours out there. We'll do it one question at a time. Which of those 5 categories? I'll say them again to you. We got movies, TV.
Oh, I remember the categories.
Okay, music, sports, and food. Which one do you want first?
Let's just go in order. Let's do movies first.
Movies first. And all 5 are very hard, I think. At least for me, they are to pick. So I like them all or I dislike them all. They're very close. Better movie. Is it Braveheart? Or Ben, you know me well enough. What's the other category? What's the other one?
Oh, I actually don't know what you're.
Okay. Is it Braveheart or the one that usually gets compared to Braveheart? Gladiator. So Braveheart, obviously the Mel Gibson story of Scotland's independence from England, or Braveheart, the story of the Roman gladiator who fights for his freedom.
That's actually a tough one.
I know it is. They're 2 of the greatest movies ever.
But I'll go Braveheart. Like I really liked the cast, like just down to the smallest roles. Like everybody was fantastic. It was, I mean, at the time I saw it, like in my early 20s or late teens, like I was just blown away by how good the battle scenes were. They just made all the Conan movies of the 80s just look ridiculously like phony and weird. Like, yeah, it was really, really good.
And you can still watch them all these years later, and it's both those movies, they hold up.
I mean, give me Last of the Mohicans over either of those, but
fuck out of here. Get out of here. You're such a hipster. What a hipster. A good movie, but come on. Last of the Mohicans. All right. Antoine Willis goes with Braveheart. John Butterfield.
Getting decapitated for your freedom is wild, says Antoine Willis.
Yeah. John Butterfield goes Gladiator.
Yeah, John Butterfield's English. He's not going to watch Braveheart and be like, "Hey, I a bunch of English people getting chopped to pieces."
The most disturbing scene, and guys, spoiler if you haven't seen these movies. First of all, why haven't you? And 2, like, shame on you for not watching it. I'm gonna spoil it.
Braveheart turned 30 years old this year. If you haven't seen it, tough.
When the his wife gets killed. Very disturbing. I always thought the King guy, the guy who betrayed Mel Gibson and then later on helps him, it was really good. Man, I'm gonna go opposite, man. I'm gonna go Gladiator though.
I'm not mad.
And the only reason why I love this, like, music, I thought the music, like the moments in the music was like perfect. like at the end of the movie when like Russell Crowe's character dies and like he's like floating and the music is playing. Like it speaks to my soul. So, but I mean, dude, both A pluses. I mean, I could change my opinion on that. John Butterfield says Prince of Thieves gets a bad rap. Surprised how low the scores are for that one these days, dude.
What upsets?
Dude, Prince of Thieves. I mean, somebody talking about Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves with Kevin Costner. That's a fantastic. Yeah, that's fantastic.
Like with like Morgan Freeman as like his buddy was amazing. Like, dude,
yeah. Christian Slater when he was like a heartthrob.
Have we seen The Departed? Oh man! All right, we're gonna go off the rails.
We'll have to go hot take next week. Right. Hot takes, Ben. I'll let you. Cool. We'll do some hot takes because I got a hot take with Departed. All right, number 2. We'll go TV. Better TV series. Breaking Bad or The Sopranos?
Wow, I did not expect you to actually come up with questions that were going to make it difficult for me.
They're hard, right? Both like A pluses to me. The top 5 shows of all. To me, they're both in the top 5. Or
Sopranos, barely.
You go Sopranos,
but barely. And if I rewatch one of them between now and you ask me this again a year from now, I might answer the other way. Like, there's no wrong answer to this one.
Oh, here we go. Here's being a hipster. Here's a hipster. Mitt Lamesh saying Better Call Saul is better than Breaking Bad. No, it's not. Better Call Saul is not that good of a series. Saul, the character, is a great character. The whole series, I don't think it's that good. Juice X goes with Breaking Bad. Ben, we're going to be in agreement. I'm going to go with Sopranos. They're both awesome, but the reason why I'm leaning Sopranos, I quote The Sopranos a lot more than I quote Breaking Bad. To me, Breaking Bad is a great show, but there may be 1 or 2 scenes that I'm like, that's a great scene. That like Sopranos, like I have things in my life all the time that I just be I'll think of something for The Sopranos, you know, like this last week we had Columbus Day, you know, and I'm sitting there, you know, Christopher Columbus is a hero, you know, that's what he'll always be in this house, you know. So we are in agreement. I'm going to go with The Sopranos. All right. Music. Definitely goes Sopranos easily. I have seen Entourage. That's a good show. But you're talking about like a silly show compared to but John Butterfield mentioned Sopranos.
I mean, there are episodes that play like a comedy. Yeah.
Emmy Rex says Breaking Bad never slows down. I disagree. I think there was some things that were yeah, but he's right. No wrong answer. All right. No wrong answer in this one. This one could set a war. And it could have set a war because it did set a war. Tupac or Biggie?
Baby. Give me Biggie.
You're going Biggie. You're a world traveler. You know, you lived a little in the East Coast, but you're out west enough. Like you don't have to. Like you're going with Biggie. Why?
Yeah. I mean, one, I just think he had a better flow. I think he was just technically a better rapper. I like it. This is harder to say because it's definitely an East Coast, West Coast thing, but I always liked his ear for beats, you know, like just, you know, like, dude, it's not his best rapping, but like the beginning of Hypnotize, like I just want to get up and like break things.
Yeah, but in fairness, you also feel that way because it gives you that fondness of those Diddy parties you used to always go to. So.
Exactly. Yeah.
It brings back those good memories for you.
Yeah. But having said that, like music wise, beat wise, the best moment either of them ever had was Tupac on California Love when he had like Roger from Zapp doing the California with this like talk box like in the actual video. Like that was incredible.
So like West Coast obviously goes Tupac, Garrett Clemens goes Tupac, Stax goes Tupac, Mitt Lamesh goes Tupac. Wow, a lot of I mean, it's all Tupac in this. Antoine Willis goes Biggie. Okay, here comes the Biggie. All right. Yeah. So all right, so it's getting pretty close. Garrett Clemens has now changed.
John Butterfield,
To me,
being very, very British.
Okay, to me, they're both in the top 5 ever. No doubt. Top 5. If you say, hey, give me a Mount Rushmore of rappers. Yeah. And I always take Mount Rushmore 2 different ways, like my favorites versus greatest. Like, for example, you asked me who's a Mount Rushmore of rock and roll bands. The Beatles are in it, like, obviously. Yeah. But they're not not my personal top 4 favorites, if that makes sense.
No, that makes
Biggie has a better flow. I think he has the better lyrics. Tupac has a better storytelling.
Agreed.
I'm an East Coast guy. In the East Coast versus West Coast rap, I'm definitely an East Coast guy. When you talk about you want to match him up, I love Ice Cube. I love, this is 90s when rap was good. But I'm not taking anybody over Nas. I'm not taking anybody over Mobb Deep. I'm not. Those are my Wu-Tang, Mm-hmm. But in this one, I'm going West Coast. I'm going Tupac. My favorite Tupac song, Brenda Has a Baby.
I'll have to either listen or re-listen to it because I'm blanking on that one right now.
Oh, that was his first album. It was that's a deep song. That's a deep song. Yeah. Hey, and we had to bring up rap because how many people were trying to sign me this week after my rap?
Yeah.
Poet. Okay, so Dev talks about the poetry. I agree with that.
Yeah.
They just released Antoine was Big Al's my man. Nice call, Antoine. Changes. Great call by Narrative Nation UFC. Good call. All right, moving on. These don't get any easier, Ben. Sports. This one I think it might be a little easier in the sense I don't know people fight too much, but better Olympian, Michael Phelps or Usain Bolt?
Not letting me go and look up their specific achievements, just going off the dome.
Or how about this?
Bolt.
Yeah, we don't have to go by this guy has 17 gold medals. This guy has 14. So this. No, I mean
what I go by is
if
this.
You could walk up and talk to one of them and take a picture of one of them. Which one do you do?
Here's the thing. When was Bolt's last Olympics? 12 years ago? 15 years ago? And I still mention him or have him mentioned to me as just a touchstone reference for a fast human being every week.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a man. He's a man.
Before just now, I had not thought of Michael Phelps probably this year.
Okay. So you're thinking about Usain Bolt weekly.
Well, just it comes up.
Okay.
Well, hell, dude, you on our previous shows, you referred to somebody as he's not like this, like Usain Bolt, this past week. It's just
sure.
He has entered the kind of human consciousness as the exemplar of a fast human being, even for Americans. He's Jamaican, and we stopped saying Carl Lewis or Michael Johnson or whatever, and just
yeah, absolutely. Again, they're both incredible. Antoine said, "What's harder, being a runner or swimmer?" It depends. It really depends. You suck at swimming, you die. You suck at running. I guess if you get chased by a tiger, you die. But physically, more excruciating is swimming.
Oh,
but competition-wise, there's more people who run than swim.
Dude, that's why when you do a triathlon, you bike 50 miles, you run 5 miles, and you swim a mile.
Yeah. You swim. You also swim first because if you do it last, you're gonna drown.
Yeah.
That said, it's super close. Did Usain Bolt ever lose? I don't remember him ever losing in the Olympics. I know Michael Phelps in the very,
they did this thing where he ran against a horse and he didn't even lose that.
Yeah, I know when Michael Phelps first came into the Olympics, when he was 12, he didn't win, and they won a couple gold, but he didn't win them all. And it was the next Olympics is when he destroyed it. And then I think his last Olympics, he might have took a couple bronze or something. So that said, those type of sports, I've never really been excited. The Michael Phelps run where it was how many he had to win, 8 or 9 or whatever it was, he tried winning in one Olympics. I watched every event and I was super into it, And I still remember where I was during that last one where he looked like he was going to lose, and he pushed that one guy kind of went a wide angle and fell through that extra just push in. And fuck you, dude. I'm going America, man. Red, white, and blue. Michael Phelps. Come on, dude. All right. Last one. Would you rather have a beer or a mixed drink? Like, what are you, beer or mixed drink?
That's actually a really hard one because frankly, I like both.
Yeah, so do I. That's why it's a hard question.
Just one or the other? Probably
one
a
or the
beer.
other.
Probably
You're going beer.
Yeah.
Okay. So, to me, I'm very particular who I drink with. I'm very conscious of who I drink with. If I was meeting a listener and they were like, "Hey, Keith, let's go out. I'm in town. Would you go?" Sure, I'd love to go out. Like, let's go out. Let's have a drink. I'm gonna have a beer. I don't know you that well. I don't know how you're gonna get. I also know, like, if I can have 1 or 2 beers and just like be cool. Like, all right, see you later, or not keep drinking further. I only have mixed drinks on certain company. People I know, people I trust, people I'm comfortable with, this setting I'm comfortable with. So I'm like, I have cookouts. I have like a big 4th of July cookout at my house every year. These are my people. These are the people I trust. These are my people. I'll be mixing up Captain and Cokes. I'll be doing I'm a big gin and tonic guy. I love the gin and tonics. I'm
we'd actually get along fine. Yeah.
I'm the old man. I love the gin and tonics. Because of that, they go down a lot smoother. I'll be 6, 7, 8 deep, and I'm like, oh shit. So I'm gonna actually say mixed drinks. However, I've never said I'm never drinking beer again. I've said it before. I'm not doing mixed drinks anymore. So,
I mean, I haven't like thrown up from being drunk in well over a decade. But the thing for me used to be, if I throw up a particular thing, I can never drink it again. So okay. Like I've been cured of like all the shitty young drinker stuff. Like I've been cured of Jaeger. I've been cured of like Fireball.
Yeah.
Like I could just.
I'll do I'll do a shot. We always do like one shot. We always I would give a speech for America. We all shoot a shot. So I'll do like whatever. I always do Uzos with my dad because he's the only person I know who drinks Uzos, and it tastes gross, but I just do it with him because it's my dad, and whatever. I'll do one with my dad.
Dude, next time you're down in Texas, or if I'm ever up there, yeah, we're getting the Uzo. We're just gonna be some black licorice stinking motherfuckers.
Oh, I don't even like it. I just do it with my dad. And like, all right, I'll do one, and then I'm like, every time I'm like, oh god, it's so gross, Dad. Why do you pick that? All the shots we could do. So there you guys have it. That was our question. I'll put you on the spot. You said beer. Give me, don't go with like some weird beer that I never heard of. Only made in Houston. Give me like this is you're going to the liquor store and you're buying.
My go-to beer that like most bars and most grocery stores would have. I mean, I like just the regular Sam Adams Boston Lager. I like I like Sierra Nevada Pale Ale that most places have. Like now, if I'm in Rhode Island and I'm at like a decent bar, I want something that was brewed locally. I want something I can't get at home.
I'm the same way. 100%.
By the same token, down here, what I drink is mostly from Houston area breweries. But yeah, like the difference between being an enthusiast and a snob is if you're buying, I am drinking whatever you put in front of me with a smile.
Sure.
Oh, you're buying the drinks and you like Miller Lite. Here's to Miller Lite. If I'm buying, I'll get something a little more adventurous.
Yeah, I'm the same way. If I was in Houston, I'd say like, hey, what's the locals' favorite, and that's what I'll do. Yeah, same thing. If I'm at home, I'm having a cookout, I'm just having some beers with friends. This gonna sound like super snobby. I'm going my own local. I'm going Sam Adams. I'm doing the Sam Seasonal. I love the Sam Seasonal. Whatever season. I love the Oktoberfest. That's my favorite.
Okay, their summer ale is really good. Yeah,
I like this summer ale. I like their winter lager too. They're all good.
We don't get that because our winter is 3 weeks long. They can't even get the truck down here.
You can't get it like December, December or anything.
Yeah.
So, all right. And the reason why our question night is all over and we can all have a beer because Cedricus Dumas got beat up once more time, this time to Dante Johnson. Johnson win by second round TKO. We've been talking about how bad of a person Cedricus Dumas is. He's also a terrible fighter too.
He's a lousy fighter. I mean, I do love that he just came out, shot for a takedown, and spent like 3 minutes basically having Dante Johnson in a cradle. Like, I did not have Cedric Dumas hitting a cradle in the octagon on my bingo card this year. Like,
oh, dude, he didn't have the head in the hole. He would have been able to keep him down. You got to get the head in the hole, run him down to his back. Come on, dude.
well, he'll go back to Florida and practice on unarmed. That's yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he did got subbed by a guy who's known for his striking, and like he taps so fast. Like even DC was bashing him. Like it wasn't even in. So Antoine's asking what my favorite beer. I just said my favorite beer is like the Sam Seasonal. So before that, Ketlin Vieira took on Norma Dumont. Norma Dumont winning by split decision. I got to ask the question right out the gate. Ben, how did you score this fight?
I scored it 29-28 Vieira. And the thing is, again, not every split decision is a robbery. Not every decision I disagree with is a robbery. But this is one where I have a hard time justifying how you would score it any other way than 29-28 Vieira.
Yeah, I'm with you. I had it 29-28 for Ketlin Vieira. I scored the first 2 rounds for her. I gave Norma the second. I like the MMA decisions. It was 6-1 for Vieira. I didn't submit my score. I'd only do so it'd be 7-1 for Vieira. Like the one thing I will say about Vieira, the rounds she won were close, and it was really just for her own lack of volume. She wasn't letting her hands go enough. So when she was getting takedown stuff, I don't think she did a lot to. I think she did enough to win the round, but she didn't like really pull ahead to give it. So it's like, oh yeah, there's no doubt, there's no way you could score it any other way. I still feel the same way you do. Like it felt like it was easy rounds because Norma didn't do much herself. Yeah. But yeah, not. I don't know. I did not like the decision. Norma Dumont, her problem is, especially in this case, her takedown defense has been so inconsistent. It was really bad tonight. And worse, you can have bad takedown defense if you have a good ability to get back up. She had neither.
Nope. And yeah, like the fight played out exactly like I figured it would. I thought both women wanted a similar kind of fight. I just expected that Dumont would be the one who would be better at that kind of fight. So I was wrong on that. But the one thing I keep underestimating about Ketlin Vieira is she is right up there with, well, honestly, like someone like Ciryl Gane in the ability to make anyone fight her fight. Like she turns every fight into a Ketlin Vieira fight. She is now in sole possession of the all-time lead in split decision wins in the women's bantamweight division. She's 4-1 in splitters. Yeah, she just kind of like, Ciryl Gane snake charmed his first 6 or 7 UFC opponents. Like Ketlin Vieira just turns every fight into this slow slog. And I thought Dumont would be able to beat her at her own game, but I was wrong.
Yeah, one thing I mentioned that John Butterfield mentioned about this, the broadcast team was talking about this as a possible title eliminator and that the winner could be fighting for the title next. And then they had it 4th on a terrible Apex card. So, I mean, this was going on at like, I don't know, 6 at night or something like that. Really, really bad. And then I was just watching this and I'm like, oh my God, like neither girl is in the same atmosphere as Kayla Harrison is right now. Like Norma Dumont won. That's even better. I mean, I know Kayla has already beaten Ketlin Vieira, but Norma, I mean, she is look what Ketlin Vieira was able to take her down. What would Kayla do to her? And
if your game plan involves clinching for 75% of the fight, you do not want any part of Kayla Harrison. Like Kayla's not a perfect fighter, but needing to clinch with her is basically handing her the fight.
Yeah. So Jordan Lane says Kayla barely beat Vieira. That for Kayla's standard, like she clearly won. Yeah. There was no argument for. But yeah, it was one of her closer fights. Which is saying something. So what are we doing next to them? Obviously, Dumont won the matchup, so she's gonna get the height. Sorry, I got something bothering my throat.
Okay. I mean, next for Dumont, she won the fight, which is good because of the two, she's the one that has not fought Kayla Harrison yet. Assuming that we get Harrison versus Amanda Nunes, sometime in the next 6 months. We need to do something with Dumont in the meanwhile. I'm giving Dumont a woman who just jubilantly announced her release from PFL this week, Larissa Pacheco. She can be Larissa Pacheco's first UFC opponent, because that way they can.
Wow, could she make it back down to 145?
She would not have been. She would not have been trying to get her release so hard if not. Like, she clearly believes she can, and honestly, if Kayla can, I think Pacheco can. But here's the other thing: like, Dumont being Dumont, if they wanted to do a kind of cyborg type thing where they give Pacheco a fight at 140 first, just to kind of introduce her to the fans and get her halfway there, they could. I mean, they could do Dumont versus Pacheco at 140 or something. But she's coming. She's going to need a top 5 opponent, basically, because they're going to want to stick her into a rematch, a 4 match with Kayla as soon as possible. But they need to make sure she can make 135 first. Yeah, give me Dumont versus Pacheco.
I was gonna have Dumont just sit on the sidelines and I'd have her fight. I mean, Kayla Harrison, fight Kayla Harrison next for the title, or if Kayla fights Amanda Nunes, that obviously to fight the winner of that. I don't mind. Like, obviously, I think look. I'm sorry, dude. Something's in my throat, but just talk.
I mean, the chat's going crazy about the Dodgers. What happened? Canada in shambles. That's been a rough year or two for Drake, huh? Is he there?
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. The good thing about if you bring in obviously what's Kayla? She's up 2-1 or 3-1 on Pacheco.
2-1.
2-1.
2-1.
Okay.
They fought 3 times.
The problem is if she beats Nunes and then Pacheco beats, say Norman DeBone or somebody else, then you have the argument. You've seen someone actually beat Kayla, so and then Kayla would have something to try to prove back, like, yeah, it was a fluke.
Well, that's my thought is, like, if Kayla beats Nunes, there's a possibility she just retires. Like, what more does she really have to prove? Like, the idea of getting one back against Pacheco might actually keep her interested.
Yeah, just to give an update on the World Series. Yeah, but there was 1 out in the 9th. Some guy hit a home run to tie the game. But then Ohtani got up next and flew out. So the good thing is, if you're a Blue Jays fan, you could say we still have last at bats in the 9th, and we just got past Ohtani. So that's good. Miguel Rojas. So, still blowing. I got to feel bad for that pitcher. Ketlin Vieira, what are you doing with her?
It's again because I thought she won. I don't want her to take too much of a step back, but at the same time, she's fought everybody in the top 10. Like, I seriously just kind of came up with nothing. I'm like, I don't know what you do with her.
Yeah, I'm giving her Eileen Perez. Perez has won 5 in a row. I feel like
boom, like Perez is the only person in like the top 15 that she hasn't fought yet.
Yeah, that's what I'm giving her.
And
John Butterfield asked the important question: are the Blue Jays a band too? No, that's what the Canadians call the Yardbirds. They call the Blue Jays the great band, the Yardbirds. Before that, Montserrat Ruiz took on Alice Ardeleon winning by unanimous decision. I mean, this was an absolute mismatch. I mean, she absolutely destroyed Ruiz. I mean, pillar to post type performance.
Yeah, I mean, literally, this was Ruiz's 5th fight in the UFC, and if you're not susceptible to the women's MMA headlock scarf hold throw, she has nothing for you. Like, that's it. Like, she's as bad as it gets. She's a 4'11" woman that has like one technique, and it's not a finishing technique. So she has to do it on you like 10 times.
Yes. Thank you, Dev. That was a really good line. And my man, Ben, gave me nothing back.
I'm so sorry. Like, I
feel like Godbirds out there. I thought Ben would be excited about that one. Yeah, I mean, she made her a bloody mess, as you said. She's bigger, sharper on the feet, much better striker than she first was categorized coming into the UFC, and tons of variety. She has really impressed me. Again, she's beaten very low level competition so far in the UFC, but she's beating them bad and looking better each fight. So, Ardeleon was not someone like I was super high on, but man, she's starting to look really good.
Yep.
Before that, Phil Rowe took on Seek Hyun Ko. Hyun Ko winning by unanimous decision. Dude, Rowe might be the worst defensive wrestler in the UFC. I mean, the entries he was getting taken on weren't even good.
This was bad. He's definitely has the worst defensive wrestling of any American in the UFC.
He did nothing to like third round. You're down clearly down 2 rounds. You need to stop it. You get taken down, and it's like you're not even trying to scramble up. You're like in close guard, just holding on. Like, what do you? This seemed like a guy just okay. Give me my paycheck, and I can move on.
It's hard to say anything other than that. Yeah, it was a miserable performance. I picked Rowe in the upset, saying I was going to roll the dice on getting the good Rowe. That is what I get.
Yeah, that was a move. Ko, I think Ko could have been competitive on the feet if he slug it out with Rowe, but I actually feel higher on him that he's just like, dude, I'm gonna take the path of least resistance. This is so easy, and it looked like they were drilling takedowns, and it was like, you drill with a partner for 2 minutes. It's like it was like his turn. Like, okay, your turn, take me down. Like, and you get like, all right, dude, stop being a fish. Like, I need some resistance. I'm not gonna get better. Give me like, you know what I mean? When I say, oh, dude, I'll just fall over. Yes. I did a lot with like little kids. I'm like, dude, stop being a fish. Like,
I have not heard like someone call somebody a fish in many, many years. Like, really? Like a little tear coming to my eye. I just remember like my senior year, like, yelling at sophomores. Whew. That's amazing.
Ben, I'm going to put you on the spot. I don't know the historian in me, but I think this is true. The last time someone hit a walk-off home run in the World Series, who was it?
I have no idea. Like, I
believe again, and throw out to these baseball historians if I'm wrong, but I believe it was Joe Carter in 1993. I think it might be the only time someone hit a home run. It was the no. I'm talking about sorry. So he's saying I'm sorry. I should have said that better. To win the World Series, not just a World Series game. To win the actual entire World Series.
Maybe did Freddie 95 was it 95 for the
did Freddie Freeman? I know Freddie Freeman did the other night, but has he done it? Did he do it to win the entire series? No. I'm talking about like when they won with the Dodgers last year or whatever the year was. Anyways, I know Joe Carter did it for the Blue Jays to win this World Series. They're in a position right now to do it again. Vlad, this is exciting. You're bottom of the ninth inning. You come up to bat, and you hit a home run. You win the World Series. This is what the little kids dream of. And Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is currently up. He's the guy that can do it. Anyways, the first fight of the night is Ariana Canalosi took on Talita Alencar. Alencar winning by third round sub. Edgar Renteria did it. He did it to hit
wow.
No. Did he hit a home run to win a game or to win the entire series? That's what I'm talking about, like to end the World Series, not just like a game.
Not just a game. Yeah, it's the card is the only one I can think.
Dude, your boy Guerrero hit one to deep center field to the warning track. The best part is directly behind home plate. There's these two guys jumping up and down like crazy. I was crazy thinking they just was in person to see a walk-off home run at the World Series. Anyways, that would have been great. Your girl Alencar is 3-1 in the UFC. I don't feel better about her. I actually feel worse.
Agreed. I agree with whoever it was in the Sherdog Slack. It may have been Dev, it may have been Dane that said this fight looks like it's going in at like 3/4 speed. Like this might be like just the slowest paced UFC strawweight fight I can remember seeing. Like there was just no suspense. I was surprised at the finish came, but a finish with like 25 seconds left in a terrible fight is almost worse than no finish at all. It's like, why didn't you just do this 12 minutes ago?
Yeah. Like, why'd you?
It's like when
Really
Mir knocked out Crow Cop, with like 10 seconds left in a terrible fight. Like, yeah. But yeah, I'm with you. Like, Carnelossi was as friendly a style matchup as possibly imaginable for Alencar. Like,
yeah,
she was gonna.
She struggled to get her down. She looks like to me like this great grappler without wrestling.
Yeah,
and she reminds me of Jacqueline Emery, who we just saw a week ago. And I think it's gonna. I think she's gonna have a fight like we saw a week ago, Emery, where she's a decorated grappler and she's just getting teed off on the feet and can't do anything about it.
No, I could see Alencar's first like ranked opponent being 40-year-old Tisha Pennington, and Alencar going like 0 for 12 on takedowns and just losing a miserable fight.
Yeah. I totally agree. So there you have it. We've covered all 13 fights. Let's get to the fun stuff. We have the awards, the Bulls, the Bears, the Cutlass, the Dude Seriously, the overall grade, and our listener. Ben, I don't have a lot of Dude Seriously's because, like I said, I was trying to play catch up, so I almost didn't catch. I didn't really catch up, I think, until the co-main event. So Ben, do you have any Dude Seriously's?
No, I like the things I want to kind of poke fun at. And for one thing, we've already talked about reffing for like half the show. Like, I'll just bring in on my Bulls and Bears. So,
okay, yeah. I mean, Chris Tione can get a Dude Seriously, but how about this? A good Dude Seriously. Chuck Buffalo calling out DC for stuttering. Like, dude, seriously, nice job. Let's go to the Bulls and the Bears. The Bulls and Bears are a stock market reference. You want to be on the Bulls list. You do not want to be on the Bears list. We do it 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Let's be positive for first, because I think we have a lot of negative coming up. Ben, give me your top 3 Bulls.
Okay. Bulls. I'm going to go Alan Nascimento. And this is something that I was going to bring up in Dude Seriously, but considering that he got rid of the shoot a box Diego Lima bleached hair, so he walked out looking like he had just gone out trick-or-treating the night before, dressed up as Mike Malott. One, he looked good against a dangerous opponent. 2, he just fought for the second time in a calendar year for the first time in his entire UFC run. So yeah, good night for him. Like, he's a good fighter. Whatever ends up coming out of this, I'm going to throw Yadier Del Valle on the list. Like, we're going to hear some things in the next few days, next few weeks, but none of it should take away from the fact that 95% of fights that you watch, one or both fighters are quietly injured. And 2, the other fighter still got to go out there and win. And he absolutely ran over Isaac Dolgarian in what was supposed to be Dolgarian's wheelhouse, and pulled a pretty big upset. I'm gonna snatch. Actually, I'm not even gonna touch the main event. Jeremiah Wells, 2 days past your 39th birthday. Not normally when 5'9" muscular, athletic welterweights are putting in their best performances, but Wells looked pretty good tonight. I know that I was higher on his performance than Keith was, but that's because Keith's grumpy. Like, good work, Jeremiah Wells. Even if all you did was secure yourself a couple more paychecks in the year before you turn 40, good on you. But like, he looked pretty damn good tonight.
Yeah, then he called out Michael Chiesa and he couldn't remember. He's like, or that Canadian guy or that Australian guy.
that was amazing.
That comes off better than saying the name. It's like, you like don't even think about these guys. Yeah. All right, I'll give you some. I'm going to start with one. I said it on the recap show last week, but it wasn't official. But I'm going to say it now. American wrestling. I told you guys, U23s, they were going to whoop ass. America came home with the team title. They won, I think, 4 out of 10 weight classes. They had medals in like 8 out of 10. A bunch of finalists. Like, they absolutely destroyed American wrestling. And NCAA wrestling kicked off today, and that is my favorite kind of wrestling, is the NCAA wrestling. Obviously, I'm talking about, I know what kind it is. It's called folk style, but yes, NCAA wrestling kicked off. So, yes, you got to have a lot of wrestling reference from now until March. My number 2. Norma Dumont. Sh I don't think she won tonight, but she has now won 6 in a row. She's not in the UFC, and it's possible she gets a phone call for a title shot if the Nunes fight falls apart, or they just want her to sit on the shelf and take on the winner. And number one, I'm taking the low hanging fruit. I'm going to the main event. Steve Garcia, incredible, flawless victory, 7 wins in a row, another knockout. Steve Garcia. I mean, things couldn't be better for the young man. Let's go over to the Bears. These are the people who did not have a good night. Ben, I'm gonna let you kick it off again.
Bears. This was a terrible night for Ketlin Vieira. One, she got slightly jobbed out of a decision she should have won, and she is somebody that could not afford to take even a lateral step. Like tonight that you saw her getting, again, kind of robbed, is the closest she'll be to a title shot between now and forever. Like any excuse the UFC could have to push her to the back of the line, they were going to take. I'm done complaining about her being on prelims. Let's just put it that way. Because she's gonna be on the prelims forever now.
Yeah,
her fights are terrible, and yeah.
No, who knows? Who knows with the UFC though? She knowing the UFC, that should be in the co-main event next time because she lost the last fight. She lost 3 out of the last 5. She'd be in the co-main event. Like who knows?
Cedricos Dumas. I mean, I'm not cheering for the guy to stay in the UFC, but he had a winnable fight here. Like he had a guy who really had not been tested. He had some of the right ideas, and then he folded so hard after about 4 minutes of this fight. Like, yeah, bad night for him. And if it's the last time I have to talk about him, that would not break my heart. Even not knowing everything we're going to know out of this is a bad night for Isaac Bulgarian. Yeah. At worst, at worst, that's actually plausible. He's gone from the UFC, by Tuesday morning. At best, he is absolved of any personal wrongdoing, but we still never look at him the same way again. Like, Yadier Del Valle stole all his remaining shine and then some tonight.
Yeah, and he got his ass kicked too. So, yeah, that was the whole debacle thing. The whole thing with that was my number 1 on my list. So I'll add a different one to my list. So my number 3, I said this a lot. I'm gonna say it again. I'm gonna say bout order. I mean, the fact that Vieira Dumont was buried on the prelims on a broadcast when they're talking about number 1 contendership just shows you the continued hate of the UFC for women's MMA, and then the other one would be flyweight men. If you have ranked flyweight men or women ranked female fighters, they do not care. My number 2, I'm gonna go with African MMA. Not a good night. I mean, 2 African fighters were set up in big slots, and they went 0 for 2. I'm talking about Temba Garumbo and David Onama. And my number 1, we did not mention him in the co-main event, but I know the trolls were mentioning him on Twitter. A week ago, we had Tom Aspinall get clawed in the eye and could not continue. Under no circumstance am I saying that Tom Aspinall quit, that he wanted out, any of that shit. I don't believe it. I think he's the baddest dude on the planet. But I will say this, the trolls have things to work with now because they're going to say, look, Tom Aspinall, Waldo Cortez Acosta got poked in the eye, then got punched like 20 times after that, and then fought with one eye and got a knockout. What's your excuse, Tom Aspinall? So, I don't agree with this assessment, but boy, Tom Aspinall's going to hear it. So I'll go with Tom Aspinall. Ben, let's do the awards.
Okay.
Do we have the awards?
We do. There are 4 performances of the night, no fight of the night.
It seems like we've been seeing him do it a lot lately. Do you agree with the performances of the night?
I agree with 3 of them.
All right. Let's give me your 4. And so come up with a 4 list, and then I will guess which one the UFC did not give it to.
Okay. My performances of the night are Steve Garcia for his knockout of David Onama. Alan Nascimento for his submission of Cody Durden. Dante Johnson for his submission of Cedric Dumas. And Billy Alicana for his chokeout of Kevin Christian.
Okay. I am going to guess that Johnston did not get the bonus.
Johnson did get the bonus. It was Alicana who did not get the bonus, and in his place, the UFC gave $50,000 to Waldo Cortez Acosta.
I'm okay with it, dude. I'm okay giving Waldo. Honestly, I don't agree with what happened. I don't agree with the decision. I think it could be a contest. That said, that had nothing to do with the Waldo Cortez got. He still had the balls to continue to fight. He went out slugged and got a knockout, so I'm actually okay with him. And I would have gave it to him too. But I would have given it to Alicana. I would have given it to Garcia. I would have given DeValio. I know people don't like it and the gambling and all this. He still went out there and kicked the shit out of Bulgarian. I would have given him bonus. Hey, figure that shit out yourself. Good performance by DeValio. So I would have given out. Yeah. I would have given out two less than that. I wouldn't have given Nascimento one. He took an opponent on getting the fight on short notice, so I wouldn't give it to Nascimento. Though the finish was spectacular. I saved the cut list for last because I got a bunch of them, dude. Ben, how many people do you have for the cut list?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Whoa.
I have 5, and that's not counting Isaac Bulgarian.
Okay. I also have 5, not counting Isaac Bulgarian. The way that the cut list works, if both me and Ben have the same name on the cut list, we give the UFC permission to get rid of them. Ben, give me your first name.
It is Ariane Losi. It's not Carnelosi anymore because the carne is gone. Ariane Losi. I'm cutting her.
Ben, I saved her. She's actually won a bunch recently. I know one was a disqualification and everything. And I know she's not UFC talent, but she's so fun with her big biceps. All right, who's your next one? So I saved her.
Phil Rowe has got to go. He's lost 3 of 4, and more the optics were important this time. Yes, he didn't have anything.
Nothing. At least just because you're outmatched, at least try. Do something. If he gave up his back and got subbed, I'd feel better than just getting held down and do nothing. Yeah. All right, give me a next list. Next name.
Montserrat Ruiz.
Yeah, she lost 4 in a row, hasn't won in 4 years. That's a no-brainer. All right, what's your next one?
Next up, Cedric Dumas.
Yeah, the dude can only beat women.
Yep.
Oh, man. There was a play, bases loaded, 1 out, ground ball to second. The second baseman kind of bobbled the ball, threw home, and they still got him out. Could the World Series end on a replay, an appeal? It was that. Oh, I don't know. It's close. That'd be so anticlimactic. I'm sure if you're a Toronto fan, that's. I think the catcher took his. He might not have had his.
Did he miss the tag, or did he?
He had his foot on the. Dude, this is in crazy close. He has his foot on the plate as the ball's getting caught. His toe comes off this much, and then he goes back down as the guy's sliding in. I think he's out, especially because they called him out. No, I think he got him out. But it is, Ben, it is as, dude, you don't want the World Series to end like this.
No. No, now I'm watching.
Dude, it is insane how close it is. But I think it was the right call. I think it's the right call. And I don't expect to be turned over. And I don't think I can't. I got it on, obviously, I got it on mute. And is that all 5 of yours? Did you have one more? I'm sorry. People who don't like baseball right now must be like, what?
No, Cody Durden.
Oh, Cody.
Like, I know it was short notice, but
you got to win it.
He's, yeah.
So yes, so I saved Ariane Connolisi. Oh my god, dude! This freaking World Series is one of the greatest World Series ever played. Seriously. Sorry, you saved Daniel Frunza, who is 0-2 in the UFC and looked terrible. But you saved him. But you know what? That's okay. Did you see what just happened in the World Series?
Yes.
What a catch! What a catch! What an inning!
Like I need to like go back and yeah.
This is anyways, but we're losing. We're gonna get distracted. Too distracted. All right, Ben, what is your grade for the card?
F. I don't think I've ever given a UFC card an F since we've been doing recaps. It was maybe the worst card of the year on paper, and it didn't even deliver that. Like,
no, it was bad.
There was one fight that was even kind of good. A couple of the most important fights were plagued. Like, no, aside from the main event, all the other most important fights were plagued by controversy. Like literally the three most important: the co-main event, the Del Valle versus Delgarian fight, and Dumont versus Vieira, all like affected by weird shit.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm here to be entertained, and I'm here to figure out who the best fighter is, and I didn't get either.
Yeah. Honestly, you could. I had it a D-, and I was gonna give it a D- just because Steve Garcia, that's our boy, and he looked fantastic in the main event. But you know what? He did look fantastic and it was fun. But I also want like some pushback too. Like so yeah, you convinced me. I'll go F too. This is the tough question. Who's your listener of the night?
Well, it's only tough to remember because I awarded it like 5 minutes in because like somebody saved us.
You gave it to MMA Racks. MMA Racks was bringing.
I think it was MMA Racks for like being basically our unpaid intern producer and like looking shit up for us in real time. That was fantastic. Like, thank you so much, MMA Racks.
I'm gonna go with Jordan Lane 21. I think he had good volume, good messages. He was pulling a post with us, so I'm gonna give it to him. I don't think I've given it to him before, so I'm gonna give it to Jordan Lane 21. So, anyways, there you guys have it. We have gone through all 13 fights. I have to be up super early in the morning again for another softball all day. So I really want to watch this rest of this World Series, but who knows how late it's going to go. But congratulations to either the Toronto Blue Jays fans or the Los Angeles Dodgers fans. So, but then anyways, you have it. We will be back next week. We have UFC Brown versus Bonfim from the Apex.
Yep. We sure do.
All right. So make sure you tune into that. We'll have our preview out first thing Monday morning. And thank you guys for listening.